When Nikola Tesla died in a New York hotel room in 1943, he left behind something that has haunted historians and inventors ever since: a collection of handwritten notebooks containing decades of research, sketches, and ideas that never saw the light of day. Some say they held the blueprints for wireless energy transmission that could have changed civilization. Others whisper about weapons and technologies so advanced they were confiscated by government agencies. Today, we're unraveling the mystery of Tesla's lost notebooks and examining what brilliant inventions may have died with him in poverty and obscurity. Tesla's final years, a genius forgotten. By the 1930s, Nikola Tesla had become a forgotten figure, living in a series of increasingly modest New York hotels, surviving on credit from the New Yorker hotel manager who took pity on him. Despite his revolutionary contributions to electrical engineering and wireless technology, Tesla had no funding, no laboratory, and no one willing to back his grand visions. He filled notebooks obsessively, documenting ideas for death rays, earthquake machines, and technologies that would transmit power wirelessly across the globe. These weren't the idle fantasies of a mad old man, these were the careful calculations of a mind that had already revolutionized the world twice over. Yet he was writing in isolation, with no peers to validate or develop his work. The confiscation. When Tesla died, on January 7, 1943, Tesla passed away in room 3327 of the New Yorker hotel, virtually unknown to the public and nearly penniless. What happened next became one of history's greatest controversies. The FBI and U.S. government moved remarkably fast, faster than his relatives, faster than the hotel staff. Federal agents confiscated Tesla's personal effects, including his notebooks, documents, and years of research. The official explanation was national security. They were concerned about sensitive military research. But questions remain unanswered to this day. What exactly did they take? What did they read? And why were some materials later returned in redacted form while others disappeared entirely? The wireless power transmission blueprint. Perhaps Tesla's most tantalizing lost project was his system for transmitting electrical power wirelessly across continents. He believed he had cracked the code using the Earth itself as a conductor, with enormous towers broadcasting electricity that could be received anywhere with a proper antenna. The Wardenclyffe Tower, which he attempted to build on Long Island with funding from J.P. Morgan, was designed for exactly this purpose. Morgan withdrew funding after realizing he couldn't meter and profit from wireless power. But Tesla continued developing the concept in his notebooks, adding refinements, calculations, and technical improvements. If his final schematics were among the confiscated papers, they may have represented a technology that could have provided free energy to the world, or at least made energy distribution fundamentally different from what we have today. The death ray, weaponized Tesla technology. During World War II, Tesla actively promoted his teleforce device, a particle beam weapon he claimed could shoot down aircraft and destroy armies from thousands of miles away. He offered this invention to multiple governments, including the US, but was dismissed as a crank. Yet the concept itself wasn't fantasy, it was based on real physics principles of particle acceleration. His final notebooks allegedly contained detailed designs for this weapon system. After his death, rumors circulated that governments were far more interested in his weapons research than his peaceful innovations. Some researchers have suggested that classified military projects, including particle beam weapons developed decades later, may have actually built upon Tesla's confiscated notes. The truth remains classified and unavailable for public scrutiny. The earthquake machine, mechanical resonance secrets. Tesla claimed to have discovered the principles of mechanical resonance, the idea that by sending vibrations at the precise frequency, you could collapse buildings or even trigger earthquakes. He famously said he could split the earth like an apple. While skeptics dismiss this as pseudoscience, Tesla's understanding of resonance and oscillation was genuinely sophisticated. In his notebooks, he sketched designs for what he called his oscillator, a mechanical device that could generate powerful vibrations at specific frequencies. Whether this could actually achieve what he claimed remains unknown. But what we do know is that his research into resonance and vibration dynamics was decades ahead of its time. His missing notes might have contained practical applications that were either too dangerous or too valuable to reveal. The time machine and temporal experiments. Among the more controversial rumors about Tesla's lost notebooks are claims that they contained research into time and temporal mechanics. While this sounds like pure science fiction, Tesla's own writings hint at experiments with time perception and electromagnetic effects on temporal experience. He believed that thought itself was electromagnetic in nature and that consciousness could potentially be manipulated through electromagnetic fields. Some of his recovered notes mention time displacement experiments, though skeptics argue these were metaphorical or misunderstood references to his work with alternating current and phase shifts. Nonetheless, the speculation persists. Did Tesla's notebooks contain theoretical frameworks that anticipated quantum mechanics and relativity in ways we're still discovering? The redacted sections of released documents fuel this endless speculation. What the government has revealed and hidden. The FBI has released some of Tesla's documents under Freedom of Information Act requests, but the vast majority remain classified, redacted, or lost. What we've been allowed to see includes sketches for wireless power transmission, detailed notes on his death ray proposal, and calculations for various electrical systems. But hundreds of pages remain inaccessible, officially due to national security interests. Researchers have analyzed what was released and found that Tesla was working on concepts that wouldn't be officially discovered for decades, sometimes entire generations. This raises the question, how much was already hidden away in secure government facilities, and what prevented these ideas from being developed openly? The selective declassification suggests that some of his work was deemed too valuable or dangerous for public knowledge. The notebooks that survived, what they tell us. Not all of Tesla's notebooks were lost. Some collections made it to libraries and institutions, including the Tesla Museum in Belgrade and various archives in the United States. These surviving notebooks give us a window into his working mind. What strikes researchers most is the breadth and precision of his thinking. He wasn't a scattered visionary scribbling wild ideas, but a methodical engineer filling page after page with detailed calculations, cross-references, and refinements. The notebooks that survived show work on projects we never heard about, concepts we're only now beginning to understand. If the lost notebooks matched this level of sophistication, they represent an extraordinary catalog of innovations we'll never know. The handwriting is sometimes difficult to decipher, technical jargon is dense, and some experiments are described in cryptic shorthand only Tesla understood. The legacy question: did we lose a century of progress? Perhaps the most haunting question isn't what specific inventions Tesla had sketched, but what the collective loss of his complete body of work meant for human progress. Tesla's mind made intuitive leaps that others took decades to understand. His wireless transmission concept, deemed impossible in the 1920s, is being actively researched today. His particle beam weapon concepts foreshadowed the military research that would consume billions in the late 20th century. His understanding of resonance and oscillation anticipated principles we now use in medicine and physics. Without his complete notes, we'll never know if he had already solved problems we're still struggling with today. We might be reinventing wheels that Tesla had already engineered. The lost notebooks represent not just lost inventions, but lost time, a century where we could have been further along. Separating fact from myth, the real Tesla vs. the legend. As we wrap up, it's important to separate what we actually know from the mythology that has grown around Tesla's lost work. Real facts: he was a brilliant engineer whose contributions to AC electricity were revolutionary. Real fact: he did propose weapons and wireless power transmission systems. Real fact: his papers were confiscated by the US government. Real fact: many remain classified or disappeared. But the myth that he had solved all the world's problems and that free energy or miraculous technologies were just waiting to be found. The truth is more nuanced and perhaps more tragic. Tesla was a visionary working at the limits of human understanding, sometimes right and sometimes wrong, but always pushing boundaries. His lost notebooks represent real lost knowledge, but they are not the complete answer to modern problems that some believe. What we have lost is his voice, his unique perspective, and the specific solutions he might have offered. That loss alone is profound enough. The story of Tesla's lost notebooks reminds us that history isn't just written by winners, it's also shaped by what gets lost, hidden, or forgotten. A single confiscated collection of papers changed the course of technological development, and we may never know how. What do you think was in those missing notebooks? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video like this one.